All right, what's up, EXO family? EXO family, there's some people already here in the building, which is great. If you guys notice, I am in a moving car. But it was super important that we jumped on tonight, so I am still here, but
What up, y'all?
I am in a moving car, Mo.
Oh
What are
yeah,
you doing?
I can see that. Yes, I can see. Yes.
Yes, I am in a moving car trying to get situated here. I'm headed to Essence. You guys probably know Essence Festival starts. It's kind of weird because of the 4th of July being in the middle of the week. And so we start tomorrow. But I did want to say, in celebration of today being the Crown Act and Natural Hair Independence Day,
Oh,
I am rocking the natural hair here, you
I,
know?
at this point, y'all just be making up stuff. Now. Just as
No, no, no. It's a very important day.
it's say it again. What is it?
It's Black Hair Independence Day. Yeah.
Did it not have independence?
No, it did not. The Crown Act, the Crown Act was passed 5 years ago. Dove and another organization passed it because basically a lot of women, Black women, when you wanted to work a corporate job, you were discriminated against. A lot of times we were taught we had to make our hair, straighten our hair in order to get hired. So, that's why you saw all of us perming our hair and putting in weaves
Which
and
I
stuff
missed,
like
by
that.
the way.
What?
I was a fan of the perm. Me personally,
Of course you were. Of course you were.
I like the perm.
Yeah, well, we don't like the perm, okay? It messes our hair up and it can also make us sick. Like there are a lot of people that have developed cancer from that.
That part I don't like. Now I did hear that. Okay, that part.
Yes. So we don't like to change the nature of our natural hair, Mo. We don't.
No, you don't like what comes with it, but no, y'all like it. Y'all was doing it for years. Y'all like it. I don't want to hear that.
Well, no, I don't think so. I think we felt pressure. I think we felt pressure because, in order to get a job in a corporate setting or in order to fit in some places, you felt pressure to straighten your hair.
So the fact that y'all sat there, and even before I guess the chemical or whatever, let's go back to the hot comb. Now, what I'm saying is the burnt marks on the back of the neck and ear was that didn't do it for you. It was the man that said y'all couldn't get a job there. That's what made y'all think so.
What? First of all, you're very your attempted humor, okay,
I'm
is
being real.
no, but I'm saying we were doing that. We were pressing our hair. We were burning our hair, burning the tips of our ears
I
and the
get that
backs of our necks
to get a job.
because because and just because the European standards of beauty did not include us.
Okay, so maybe at one point that was, but what happened to the afro? At one point we were proud of the fro. What happened?
Well, probably what happened to it was you people, okay? You people making us feel like, you know, we were not beautiful in our natural state. You just said you like the perm.
No, I do, but I like the. I didn't say I didn't like the fro neither.
You like the Angela Davis.
I I, I don't
See?
necessarily like the fro. It wasn't her about the fro. I did like the fro on Pam Grier. It's who the fro
Anyway,
was connected to. Let's be clear.
okay. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna celebrate
Yeah. Happy
black
natural uh independence. Yeah.
Black Hair Independence Day. We
There you
definitely, I mean, seriously, it's for women. Women understand it is a big deal. I'm not saying that we should not be able to, if you want to relax, or I would not suggest it. As a cancer survivor, I would not suggest getting, putting a relaxer on your hair because you can straighten your hair without putting a relaxer on it. So I would not suggest that. But if you want, you should be able to do whatever you want with your hair. And that's why it's about independence. So
go.
Black women can celebrate however they want. So I know as I prepare to go to Essence, one of the most amazing, celebrations, because you see Black women just living out loud, and you see women with straight hair, you see women with leaves, you see women with locks, you
There
see
you
women
go.
with everything. Yes, we can do it all.
And I do the locks and the natural short hair. I like it when it's, if you got the head for, I like it when it's short and shaped up. It looks good on someone. It looks good on a lot of women, actually.
So I'm not going to even say that you've told me that I don't need to do that.
Well,
Um,
they don't fit for all women. That's what I'm saying.
anyway, I see you just toasted me. I don't have any Seagram's Escape. I am in the back of a car. I'm in the third row, actually, headed to Essence. We're like two
Hey,
hours away.
but
But
this is just to be clear why I'm doing this, so everyone's aware.
which flavor do you have?
I got the peach.
Believe me.
Yes.
Nice, nice. Seagram's
Hey,
Escape. Seagram's Escape is our sponsor.
there you go.
It's our sponsor for the upcoming Love Connection XO in
July
Atlanta, July 13th. We're going to be telling you guys more and more and more about it as it gets closer to the time. But if you are there, the first hour, there's free Seagram's Escapes. The packages have already, the products has already come in. Mo is obviously sipping on some. Um, I will have some when I come back. I will have some when I come back. But yes, absolutely. Toast Seagram's Escape. And you guys, if you're not in Atlanta, try the product. It's a great product. If you're like me and don't like to actually taste alcohol, it's a nice, it's a nice little wine cooler, little something to give you a little fruity lift, if you will. Great
this
flavors.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I know this is Dating Diaries, but before we get into Dating Diaries, I have a couple of things I want to address on the channel. The first one is a really sad occasion.
Yeah.
Kiki Jabar from Love and Marriage Huntsville passed away within the last 48 hours. Now, most of you that watch this channel know that I interviewed her in January, actually. And I actually drove to Huntsville with my team to go do that interview because I just couldn't believe what was going on, and I wanted to see what was happening. And so I did get a chance to, Kiki welcomed us into her home. And, she was very, very nice. And we did that interview, but just hearing that she had passed away after I just was just difficult to hear. And I feel our hearts go out to her family. Um,
Absolutely.
it's just a reminder, you guys, like, unfortunately, the show Love and Marriage Huntsville, it really focuses on, like most reality TV shows do, a lot of negativity and bickering and going back and forth. And when something like this happens, you kind of realize how ridiculous all that is, on both sides. It wasn't just, it was definitely on all sides. But I'm sure at this point, the people that she was going back and forth with, all that doesn't matter because, her life is gone. And
Absolutely.
so I would just encourage, those of you that are listening and those of you that are listening later to remember that we don't know, we're not promised a certain amount of time on this earth. And so do the best you can with the days that you're given, and sometimes the little minor irritating going, sometimes that doesn't mean anything. It's not even worth it. And I'm sure there are probably a lot of regrets, about how that situation was, you know, it's just life. But I just wanted to say, a public condolences to her family, to Tisha and Marceau, the entire Jabar, and also Scott's family. That's got to be heartbreaking, specifically because they shared her with the world, and now everyone is asking questions. So hopefully, people can give them some time to grieve and respect their privacy.
Absolutely. Rest in peace. Yeah.
Yeah. So the second thing I wanted to address before we get started into tonight's conversation is a lot of you. First of all, we are so thankful that you guys have really showed up and showed out with the last few videos that we posted with the Never Ever Mets, which is completed now. We have moved on to Family Empire, but with the Never Ever Mets, our last interview, um, a lot of people were really offended and mentioned it in the comments by the cursing. And I just want to say, as the creator of this channel, I apologize for to those of you that were offended, right? Mo and I try to allow people to be themselves, and we don't ever want anyone not to feel welcome. We never want anyone to feel like their perspective does not matter. And
Correct.
so our intent in allowing him to speak his piece was to make him feel comfortable and let him know that he had that right. We've done that before, and it hasn't gone quite that way. But I just wanted people to know from me, that I apologize to those of you that were offended. We appreciate your support, and I never want you to feel like this channel is trying to exploit you, or do anything outside of what we're trying to do, which is uplift. But again, my ultimate goal is to allow people a place to share their truth, and that's what that was. What were your thoughts, Mo? Reading all the comments and how many people were really offended by some of the cursing that happened in that interview.
Like when it's happening in real time, you're just looking for the next thing they're about to say. You're not really caught up into the cursing when it's happening in real time, right? But I guess, and I never looked back at the shows, so I don't know how it felt when it wasn't in real time. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
so, and it probably, like I said, and like you said, I'm sorry that it offended people. That actually wasn't the purpose. It was, like you said, to make them feel comfortable so they can say and get whatever it is off their chest, on their mind, and just talk freely. But I think a lot of it had to do with, in my personal opinion, is because they didn't see that from him before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's the contrast that really bothered people. Because even if they weren't talking about the cursing, they were, like I was, who is this guy? Because this isn't the guy that was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? If we would have
Yeah.
saw a glimpse of that, or just some of that energy without the cursing, it wouldn't have threw us for a loop on, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Or as much, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but the intent was never to be foul or crass, or for us, or to let them, we don't want people to close up and not give us an interview. But
Right.
I totally get what everybody's coming from, and I just want y'all to know that wasn't the goal, or that's not what this channel was about, or especially this show. So, I get it, and but I think a lot of it had to do with, especially for me, because like I said, I didn't think about it in real time, but thinking what people were saying and thinking what I was thinking when I was watching it, when we were doing it, I didn't recognize this guy. I
Yeah.
really did.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are saying that they agree with you as far as not so much the cursing, but the fact that it did not feel genuine, or it felt very different than what we saw.
Yeah.
um I
But
want
I
to
don't
ask
know
you a
what's
question.
genuine. I don't know if he was disingenuous on the show or disingenuous.
Right.
I don't know, because I don't know the brother. I'm just saying it was just a different person. And
Right.
sometimes when people get on camera, they want to be away because they have kids, they have their mother, their parents are watching. So we're
Hmm.
not getting a lot of times the real them.
Right.
Or maybe we are. I don't know. But I do
I
know there
I
was a
think
difference.
I think that you tend, over a show, they film you for 6 to 8, sometimes 12 weeks, most
Yeah,
times 6 to 8.
yeah,
The likelihood of that being your personality more so than this show, to
yeah.
me, is probably more likely that that's you. But I want to ask you a question as a man. um a lot of people felt like that response, that was a response to being accused of his sexuality, being accused. And I think, like, I wonder if, not even just talking about Aaron, but the definition of masculinity, I felt like it was sad that this is what I think I have to act like in order to be considered manly. Because, like, even with the burping and the it was just a lot. It was a lot of cursing and I didn't feel like he was being hateful, but I do feel like he was doing what he thought would get a different response. And I just, as a man, I want to understand what you think about if a man is being accused of not coming off as extremely masculine or heterosexual, and he feels like that is how he can come off, then I think we've done a bad job of explaining um, masculinity, right?
Right. No, I think we've done a bad job anyway. But in this case, I would, compared to what we see, I would agree. I think that when you are something, it's easy to spot what's not.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so um you go to extra length or it's over exaggerated, right? It's over exaggerated. If let's just say someone is pretending to be a tough guy, if you know real
Yeah.
tough guys, it's not what you think it is. It's really not. Um, and so it's just like, but from the outside looking in, if you don't really know, you'll buy it. But it's some people I know and who are really like that, but you would never know until they're crossed. And some of the
Right.
coolest people that you ever, you know what I mean? But you cross them, you're gonna see what everybody's talking about, you know.
Yeah.
So I really don't, like I said, I don't know the brother, but I felt like some things could be over exaggerated to the point of this can't be real or you're performing. Who are you performing?
Right.
I have a cousin that I believe that does that, and excuse me, it was pointed out to other people. He's doing that for me, which is
Mm-hmm.
super unnecessary. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's
Yeah.
super unnecessary, but it's so much extra on it that they don't even know that they're putting extra on it because they're just trying to be cool or fit in. You know, and when you got people that love you, they don't really care. You know what I mean? You know, I don't get
Yeah.
that from
I mean,
anybody.
reality TV is a trip because people are always surprised that the way they want to come off may not necessarily be how they come off, right?
Yeah,
So the girl that's trying to be, you know, trying to look like she's the baddest chick, she may
yeah,
come off as being bitchy and cold. And I think a lot of times it bothers people when they don't recognize themselves, specifically in the way people receive them. But I think it's always an opportunity to learn because, like you and I were talking about this, and you were saying, people, we don't see ourselves, so we don't. If you don't see yourself, you may think that you are one way, but people around you probably. And I swear, this has happened so many times on reality TV. The person will be like, "Well, I'm not this," and their friends will be like, yeah, they are. They are.
right, right, right.
They just don't. They just are not in touch with the reality of themselves. And I think that's a difficult thing to get, especially when you're that young. Um, but some people are saying that he went on another show and didn't curse at all. I really don't,
Well,
and I mean this.
he might have, but I will bet you it's because of the comments.
Yeah, but I also, and I say this with all respectfully, right? Respectfully.
Yeah,
I really don't care. I purposely don't watch other channels just because I'm focused on what we're doing, and I respect and admire a lot of other people that have substantial conversations, but I also don't compare my channel to anyone else's at all. You know what I mean? So I really don't care what somebody does on another channel.
right.
Um, Even like before, people will be like, "Oh, well, this person should interview." And I know you guys watch different channels and have your favorites, and that's what you're supposed to do. But I am not ever trying to compete. I don't even really know what any of them have going on. Um, but I accept Kojo because he's someone that I've worked with in the past, But other than that, I really, I feel like you're gonna get different if you talk to people, a different person. Like people have get different things from different people,
There
right?
you go. There you go.
So I don't, however a person interviews on another channel, that's how they did on another channel. But I don't really, you know, I just focus on what we're doing here.
There you go. There you go. In this space, I don't know. Like I said, the lines are so blurred. I don't know who's acting and who's not. I don't
Yeah.
personally know these people. Some are cooler than others. Did I think some things seem a little forced? Yeah, yeah. I've been in situations where I felt like the person was trying to impress the people in the room. Me being one of the people in the room, because it's
Yes.
just overkill.
Yeah.
It's overkill, and like I said, when you are something, it's easy to spot who's not. you know,
Yeah.
it's real easy when you truly are. So it's like, that's not how that goes. That's not how that. It's not
Right.
this. It's not this thing that people really think it is. When you are that. So, and it just flows naturally, and it just actually it makes people in the room uncomfortable.
It
that know,
does.
that know, but
It does. And
each of
it's funny because I think even um, sometimes the people that are, to me, when you have to tell a person how attractive you are over and over and over again,
yeah,
I because you can just tell when someone doesn't really believe what they're saying. Because if you know who you are, you don't waste time trying to convince people, right? You
that's
just
true.
show up as yourself. But I saw a lot of that on that show. A
Yeah.
lot of like people trying to convince you that they were what they were trying to sell. And it's like, exactly, Druzy, you're trying to convince yourself. And I'm not like, have at it, you know what I mean? But it just felt, I really wish that they would do a better job with the prepping people for casting, because the audience kind of deserves more authenticity.
So let me ask you this: is it the show or the casting, or do they need PR training once they start doing these interviews?
Well, they don't need people. They are getting some type of training. The industry of publicity is so backwards. You have so many people, because there are a lot of people that are saying that they're publicists and they're not really. And you know that,
Right, right,
from
right,
being
right.
a, there's so I wouldn't even say that, because every time someone gets on a reality show, then they want to say, oh, they have a publicist, and a publicist. Let me just say this, and then we're going to get into the dating diaries. A publicist is not somebody that just gets you into parties and books you on shows. Um, the booking on opportunities that align with your career goals is one part of it, but the biggest part is a strategy to get you to that point. And
Mm.
what I see is a lot of people faking things, from the people on the reality shows to the people trying to work with the people on the reality shows. It's just a cluster, of ridiculousness. So I don't think they need necessarily media training, but I do think they need to understand, they probably need to be prepped about what's going to happen when you go on the show. And then what do you want out of this? You can't just, trying to be the most popular person does not equate to money. You know what I mean? Like, but maybe your goal is just to be the most popular person, but that's also going to be over with very quickly. So I'm
Yo,
not sure.
did y'all hear Crystal was about to start talking to Ish. She was about to get into it and let y'all like I saw it, I heard it,
You
but
felt it.
she pulled back. But Crystal was about to be like, "Look, this ain't y'all know how this." You pulled back, but I saw who you was about to go.
I try not to, because but I just
She was about
sometimes,
to pop her collar, boy. What?
because, but you know how if you, when you do something and then other people are telling you that they do it too, it'd be like,
But that's what I was saying. When you are something, it's easy to spot who's not.
yeah, facts, facts, facts on facts.
Yeah,
Well, let's get into the dating diaries. If you guys are just joining, I am in the car on the road to Essence Fest.
yeah,
My co-host there is doing his thing with the Seagram's Escapes. But tonight we decided that we're going to start having themes for these conversations, because um, it's important, as we're talking about dating and dilemmas and disasters, to talk about what are some of the issues that people are dealing with when it comes to dating. And one of the things that I want to talk about, which is why we Mo and I have had these conversations a lot, and I thought this would be a good topic for tonight, is the difference between a good guy and a good look. And I do think that as women, a lot of times we confuse a good guy and a guy that we believe is a good look, and I think it took me a while to understand that, but I think that's something that we need to kind of delve into, because I'll give an example. A perfect example of a good guy, a person that people assume is a good guy. You take Common, right? You take Common and you take a 50 Cent. Now, if you look at those two right next to each other, then people are going to assume out of those two that Common is the good guy, right? Common is, extremely educated and well spoken and just, carries himself with a lot of decorum and, seems to be the kind of guy that you would want as a husband. He just has all those things. He's
Cause you
into,
sister.
intellectual and all those things. Now, 50 Cent has been shot numerous times. He is a troll. He doesn't necessarily carry himself with the same decorum, right, that a Common would. But as a woman, if you look at the behavior of the two when it comes to relationships, just what we are privy to as fans, Common has went through way more women and has way more dysfunctional relationships than 50 Cent.
Common that ran through all of Black Hollywood.
And
His age bracket.
and beyond. And we just heard that that he and Jennifer Hudson have split and that she kicked him out.
Of course.
So I want to ask you, why do you think women fall for the guy? Because I've done it. I remember we have a friend in common, and I was like, oh, he seems like such a good guy. And you were like, nah, he's just like the rest of us. And you guys, not only was he like the rest of them, he was worse. He was worse. But it's just in a package that seems he wears suits a lot and hard bottom shoes, and he knows how to. He's very he's just very well spoken. He knows how to. He's automatically gonna. He knows how to talk in the boardroom, and then he doesn't really show his hand around women, but he has displayed some of the most just no integrity, no character, any of that. You know what I mean? So I just think that we gotta start looking at different things when we're dating than the outside and the outer package.
Absolutely. I know that even for me, judging a male friend, like, you know what I mean? A guy that I think is trustworthy, a guy that I think he'll hold it down if we moving around, a guy that I think that if I have a lady, I could trust him around her. And the thing that I noticed is that with men, it could be cool. I've seen guys, family man. I've seen guys take care of their women. I've seen guys, great fathers. I've seen it all. But the true test when it's man and man is how they act around women. And women, like, he's such a great provider. But the part you'll find out where the cracks are is around women. And he'd be like, see, there it goes. Some dudes show their hand early amongst dudes. They can't be trusted. You have the friend that's he performs every time women around. Or he'll see some woman and he'll snake you. But this is the guy at the same time, he's cool over here, he's cool in all these other spaces. But with the women, that's when he's gonna fall, that's when he's gonna tell that woman your business, everything. He'll become a snake at that point. I seen guys not tell the police nothing, but pillow talk to their woman, everything, or not even their woman. I'm talking about some woman they just met just to get up under them. So now let's say it's the woman. He's dealing with the woman, and she wants to know that. It's a harder thing to detect because these guys know what to say, and he's wearing the uniform. We got to
Mhm.
get past the uniform. You know, he dressed nice. He's well spoken. We did this with Chaz. We did this to
We
homie in New
did.
Orleans. What's his name?
Which
Um,
one?
Mizell.
Oh man.
You
Oh
see
no,
what
I
I'm saying? We
forgot about
swept.
myself.
But
Yeah.
Mizell showed this card a little early. But I was saying this like we're getting the hello queen, the compliments, the non-slang, the education, and we're being blinded. But at the end of the day, he still likes vagina, and
Yeah, and
vagina will make
I
and
think that's
vagina
the thing.
will
That's
make
the
some
thing
men
is
move, and that's where the manipulation and the movement comes in. But he's not going to show you.
right.
But 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 like me as your friend and your brother. That's why I say women have some men that you trust that you're not. There's no
Some platonic
romantic thing,
friends.
platonic friends, and they're gonna sniff them out for you. And it goes vice versa. Christal done sniffed out some women for me. A lot of times I ain't listen, but she was right.
He never listens, but I always be right. But
It's
I think
like,
that's the thing too. And I did say that I think men do the same thing. I think that for men it may not be, quite the same things that women are looking at. But I think women, when a man sees a woman and he thinks that she's just so pretty, like I'll give you guys an example. I have another guy friend that saw this girl and she was everything that he wanted. I really believe that men value women based on how attracted they are to them, right? So this girl was like his dream girl. She was everything that he wanted. And his whole interaction with her was so different than other girls. And it was simply based on her face, how pretty she was, right? And the fact that the look that she had is the look that he wanted. This girl ended up being the most trifling, just, dealing with different people. And it's like, and I was like, why can't you see that she's like that? And it was like, he was just fooled because she was so pretty. I think women are not necessarily fooled by just a good looking guy, but it could be the guy that has all of his stuff together, right? Or looks like he
mm,
does.
there it
So,
goes.
yes.
Sometimes
Yeah.
the best presentation, like you go for that presentation and he got it, but that don't mean he's the best guy, you know. And a lot of times, and unfortunately, you will never know it. Most of the time, you won't never know until it's too late, you know. And
Right.
I wish I could figure out other than you getting a male to sniff them out, but I think men find out a lot faster than women, and I feel bad for women on that note because I see some dudes, and some dudes hide it from guys, and you won't
Yes.
really know until you hang out with him. But you have to hang out with him around pretty women, and I'll tell you, the dude gonna show his card. He will, he will, he will. Women, on the other hand, they don't get that because if he likes that woman in the room, he's not gonna let her see that.
Right.
He mastered that to cover that up, and unfortunately, by the time some women find out, it's too late. There's guys
But
out here that got a whole family and hiding it, and women they don't know.
but you know what? There are some signs. Let's talk about some of the signs because
Okay.
there are some signs that the person is not necessarily what you want them to be. Like sometimes we just see somebody that's what we think we want, and we want to make them that person. Like they're not giving us we're they're giving us $2 and we're making a 20 we're adding 18 to it, right? To make a $20 bill. They've
Damn,
only given you $2.
right.
You've added your 18 to it. So I think for me, I would say this, like with men, I'm very cautious of men that have negative things to say about other people, women or men. If you meet a man who he's dogging out other men, like telling you his friend's business and talking bad about him,
There you
like
go. There
A
you go.
lot of times a woman will think, oh, he trusts me with his secrets. No, he's just a
There you go.
bis,
There you go.
a bis, and he just that's not the type of character that you want.
There you
Because
go.
to me, if a man it doesn't like something his friend is doing, a real the type of man that I would want to be with, he's not going to sit there and just dog him out. First of all, he's not going to do that. He's probably just going to get quiet about it. He may say something to him or he may not. But if you meet a man who is constantly talking bad about other people or laughing at other people's this in situations they have that are disadvantageous, that's not the type of character you want, and it's going to turn back around to you. It's always coming back around to you. If all his ex-girlfriends is crazy and they're bitches and he can't stand them, and you're gonna be one. He's
Yeah,
setting you up.
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. Especially the friends thing. Especially the friend that seem to have more than him. Watch that.
Yeah.
Ladies, when a man asks you in the beginning, well, what type of men do you like and you into? Do not answer that. Do not answer that. That is a setup question. He's going to become that, or at least try to present that. Never answer like I
Have you done that before?
nah. I always, you know, you they tell enough where you can see. You know what I mean?
Give us an
Now I
example.
do ask, how did your last relationship end? But I don't really care about the dude. I'm just trying to see where you're at. I don't care about him.
Right.
But I do know that because I get asked it. So what type of women do you like? I just be like all kinds of women. Because I don't want you to try to emulate that, any of those.
Yeah.
Because I like different things in different women. So you might go this, but I like that in her. That doesn't mean I'm going to like that in you. But guys should pay attention and become chameleons to what you say and try to become that, or see what you like. Who's your favorite R&B singer? I seen dudes try to become that.
You say what?
Who's your favorite R&B singer and try to become that?
Come on, man.
Yeah,
You know
if you
what?
like if you like Chris Brown, all of a sudden this fool can dance. I'm telling you.
They're not gonna be able to emulate Chris Brown. That's not gonna fare
No,
that's not gonna
but
fare well.
he
But I will.
wants to be whatever it is that you like, and especially
Yeah.
if he's trying to get real close to you. If he doesn't have good intentions, that's what men are going to do. Some men.
You watch out for it.
Say it again.
If with with women, right? What a man should watch out for with women. If a woman is too agreeable, they term it love. I'm going to call it love bombing.
Now, Crystal's phone is breaking up, y'all.
Can
So,
you guys hear me?
yeah, your phone is going in and out and freezing a little bit.
I know. Can you guys hear me now?
A little better. Good.
You guys, can you hear me now?
Yes.
So I was saying, if men have to be wary of women that are doing too much, too soon. Like if she wants to come over and clean your house, and she wants to cook for you all of a sudden, and she wants to do all these things, she's distracting you from who she really is 9 times out of 10. Like a woman who's good for you, she's gonna want to do those things as she becomes connected with you. But if she is just too catering too quick, she's tricky, and we know that can get in a man's head. If she's rubbing your feet, she's doing all these things before you've earned any of it. Trust me, she's hiding some stuff. Some stuff is
Got you.
hidden.
Got you. That's fair. That's fair. That's
Because
fair.
you know what, you've had girls do that, and I told you, like, what is she doing? What is she doing, Mo? Why is she doing all this stuff? Well, she wants to help, and she wants to. She's giving this. I mean, they just be so catering, and then all of a sudden, then the real her comes out, and you're like, wait a minute, she wasn't like that at the beginning. Really, it don't last that long. Maybe 30 days.
I had somebody tell me, you knew I wasn't like that. I had somebody tell me that.
I'm thinking of the one girl that was she had a bake. There was some bakery stuff. You remember her?
The hell was that?
Well, she had a. I'm trying to think of some codes I can tell you to think. But she was just doing all this stuff up front early on. I was like, what is she? The one that you went a skipping with the Mother's Day balloon.
Oh, well, you didn't have to say that, but yes, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking
You
about.
did. She was doing a lot. She was trying to get you locked in with what she had going on. It was a lot of catering.
The funny thing is, I look back to where I was right there. I don't know why she had an interest in me.
Well, she was trying to get you over to make you what she wanted. And she even tried, she's definitely a misguided pick me. But she even tried to befriend me and was trying to reach out to me outside and go out with me to get information about you. It was crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it was. Um, watch what it this kind of is like connected to what I was saying before. Pay attention to how he is with his friends that have more than him,
Mhm.
because he's not going to front in front of them.
What you mean?
He
Give us an example.
he might his character. He might front in front of them like he got it like that with you, but
Yeah.
how he really is, they will call him out, or he's not going to do it. He'll do it to the friends under him, not above him. I promise
Yeah.
you. I
I've seen
promise.
that. I've
If
seen that.
if he won't do that, and because it's a lot of other things that can happen, and he's gonna be on his best behavior. Now he might act like he got it like that with you, but
Yeah.
I watch people how they are around other people. Forget
Yeah.
me, because most people try to put their best foot forward, right? But I watch how you treat customer service.
Yeah.
I watch how you treat the friends that been around forever, your day ones and that all of that. Because eventually that will be me. If you're not telling me all their business and you're still respectful to them and so on and so forth, that's something to look. You know what I mean?
But
To
I
process.
agree with PR Envy. And yes, I am in a spaceship. Last name first. I am in a spaceship headed to Essence. But I agree with PR Envy. She says, why would he bring you around those friends? I've dated guys that had they won't bring you around their more successful friends because they want to shine and be the one that looks the best. So a lot of times those guys won't even bring you around them. And then if you end up slipping up and you're out someplace, they totally downplay it and seem resentful when you do ask about that friend. Uh-oh.
Well, what?
Can y'all hear me?
That is not. Yeah, we get you.
Oh. But you see what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to bring you around the friend that got more money and looks better than them.
I don't know where or her you what the I don't know what you talking about.
Or you caught up in the comments.
No,
Mo,
I was
come
trying to read something
back.
and that I borrowed somebody's son's money. What the hell are you talking about? What? I ain't
You
never
borrowed
what?
what?
I don't know what she's talking about. Anyway, that's crazy. But now you just making up stuff. Um, but no, you're right.
Tell
But
them
the
mind their
thing is,
business.
like, but I just think that. But you know what? Bring them around them dudes with money. You know what? And bring them around early because you're gonna find out who she is, and better know now than I. Hey man, you gonna find out later after you 6 7 months in it, and there's a fight party. You bring around the dude, she get all open. Then what? Nah, man. The earlier the better. Find out who you. Everybody, find out who your people are early. Find out what you
I'll tell
got.
you what, I know for me, one of the things I learned to read with guys, if I brought a guy around, which I did a couple of times, I have guy friends that obviously are a lot, have a lot of money. And I would watch how the guy that I was dating or the guy that I was around would act around them. And
Yeah,
this is what I learned. Because it would embarrass me, and I would be like, oh man, I know I'm gonna hear this later. If I get if I go someplace, we go eat. One of my guy friends that especially the ones with a lot of they love just throw their money around, right? So everybody eats. Oh, I got the bill. If the guy that you're with is okay with the other guy picking up the bill and doesn't say, let me get that, or I'm good, I got mine. If he's just happy to get, uh, it's a red flag. It's a red flag. I remember a guy was dating. We went out and we ended up meeting one of my friends out. He paid for everything, and he didn't even offer like to get the tip. Like I would do that if I would go out and I didn't have anywhere near as much money as these guys have. But I'll be like, I'll pay for my own meal, and I have no money. At that point, sometimes I didn't have much money. But for the guy to be like happy that he was able to get over, nah,
yeah.
that's
You
not a
know
good
what?
look.
You're 1,000% right. Yeah, man. Don't, fellas. That is not a good look. I know you think you saved a couple dollars, but if you got that, I don't know why you wouldn't feel like a chick. So my thing is, I've heard if you let somebody do that, you might as well let somebody get with your girl. Like, don't don't do that. If you ain't got the bread, stay home, brother. Don't do that. It
But I
looks
mean,
bad. At least the
at least
minimum you could do is tip.
get the tip or tell the dude, thank you, I got you next time or something.
But
Don't
so
just
let me
be
ask you
like,
this: you're where, and I've seen this scenario a million times. Um, Somebody got a section, right? And let me explain to you guys section etiquette. Because some people think sometimes one person is going in there and buying everything, right?
yeah,
But really, if you see five guys in the section, they all put in 250.
right.
But that's how it's supposed to go. So not everybody you think is, even if it's his, whatever the situation is, right? So you go in there and you know you send one dude out to recruit the women to be like, yo, we having drinks over here, ladies, come with us. We're gonna have a good time that night. Ain't no strings attached. We just want to be around some, feminine company. All good. Ladies come back, you might see your homeboy or some other guy because guys try to wiggle themselves in this section too and
Not
drink men's
Grandpa
bottles
said, not on my watch. And man, he is so serious. He is not with the foolishness in the section.
and try to wiggle themselves in a dual section. You know what I mean? Like, which is a big no-no. You know, in
Yeah.
section etiquette, even if you're a woman, you're supposed to find out who section is and introduce yourself. Don't be grabbing bottles and acting a fool. But let's say that's your man, and it's a birthday party, and they got bottles in the section. And what do you expect? What would you? I know the answer to this, but I want to know, what do you think? You're invited. This party's a section going on. The bottles are already paid for. They're done. They're out on the table, the hookah, whatever it is,
Right.
and you've been invited. This was It wasn't premeditated. You come over. What do you? And your man does not pay for anything.
I'm not probably gonna go out with him again. I've had that happen.
No, you're a man.
Oh, I'm the man.
No, it's not some first time date. This is your man.
No, I'm saying I'm gonna be embarrassed and probably not want to go out with him anymore. I don't like that. I like men to be men. So to me, if he's trying to be sneaky and get over, because to me he should be like, hey, let me get something on that. Even and I've had guy friends be like, no, I'm good, we got it. I'll say this because we did this happened with almost every guy I dated besides Adrian. There were so many things that showed me that he was the guy, and it wasn't about the money. It was about the fact that he had integrity and he stood on his own 2 feet as a man that I respected. We go out, same setup with these friends that are like multimillionaires, and we're in Vegas, and we all flew into Vegas, and we go to see Usher, right? And then we go to dinner at this extremely expensive place afterwards. Now, I know how this goes because I've been here before. Every time one of the friends, it's two of them, two guys, they both have their wives. It's all six of us are there. I got it. Now they know they make more money than us. I mean, they're like, in the music industry and very high up.
Right.
So I got the bill. So Adrian's like, nah, I got it. And I thought he was gonna say, I got ours,
Us. Right.
us, because that would have been, that's what a man should do. Is say, I got us, these two right here,
Right.
those right there. And then if the other person insists, then you get the tip for everybody. But he was like, not. He said, I'll pay the tab. I was just like, who knew? But I respected it, and it's funny because we were leaving. This was his first time hanging out with them like that, like going out of town. And then one of them pulled me back, and he was like, I like him. He said, you could bring him around all the time because other guys that come, they were just excited. First of all, they were acting like groupies and fans because the guys were very popular and have a lot of money. And then the second part is as soon as one of them says, I got it, you could tell they're like, bet, we just got over. That's not it. He didn't do that. I know he didn't do that because we just have tons and tons of money. He was showing them that he was a man and he appreciated the hospitality, and it could go both ways.
Right.
Now, men don't understand if you're with a woman. I had a friend like this. Every time y'all go out, another dude picks up the tab for y'all. Chances are she may start looking at that dude like, well, why am I sleeping with him? I might as well just go straight to the source because we're his dependents. We are his dependents. That is a bad place to be. It's hard to respect your dude when he don't really respect himself.
Guys, let me show you the cheat code to that. This is what you do, right? You got enough money for you and your lady or whatever. You don't want to make the room or situation seem odd, right? Before the waitress or waiter comes out, you pull them to the side and tell them what you ordered and get your tab separate. So they come out with two tabs. I'm telling you.
That's fair.
That's what you do. When you see that girl, the bottle girl coming back and forth, and she bringing the drinks and the wings or whatever, you pull her to the side and you put your order in out there. And then they come back. When they come in, now they got two checks. They got for the big party, then they got a check for you and your lady. That's how
smart.
I'm just trying to tell you, that's how you really avoid that. But
that's
don't
smart.
get comfortable when you're drinking and you ain't paying attention. Then they come out with that big bill and you looking crazy. I'm just trying to tell you.
I was talking to one of my friends, another one of them that's got a lot of money, and he was out with, because it's always, big bank it's always somebody that has more money. So he was in a situation like we were with people that had way more money than him, and he's very well off. And he said, he called me, he was so upset. And you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He said, the wife said, he got it, he got the bill, and he said he was looking at her like, what? I do not have it. He didn't say it, but he said he was mad. And I said, you know what? I said, that was her letting them other guys know, my dude, you got to respect my dude. Like, it's a respect thing. Like, she wanted to make sure those other guys at the table respected her man. And for her to stand up and say, my man got it, the other guys were looking like, wow, and he paid for it. I said, you got to respect and appreciate the fact that she wants you. She's making sure that those other men respect you like that.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about it in the car, though. we damn sure going to talk about it in the car.
He called me. He was so mad. He was like, I didn't want to pay. They were doing like, what's that, Louis the 14th shots? What are those shots?
Yep.
He was
that's at least $150, $175 a shot.
Yeah, the bill was like $2,500. He was like, I didn't want to do that, but he had it. Of course he had it. That's not, it might have been more than that, but it was a stupid bill. He was just like.
But here's the thing. I want people to understand sometimes, and me and you talked about this, we disagreed, but sometimes it's just either what you do or what's sensible. Yeah, I got it, but I'm not paying this for that. That doesn't make sense. Yeah.
I wouldn't have wanted to pay for it. Let me just say that. I wouldn't have wanted to pay. But I was explaining to him why she did that. And I'm not saying that I wasn't going to do that.
I
Because
ain't
I
gonna
didn't want
lie.
that money to come out of our pockets.
And
But,
when you
when
doing it
Adrian
with a
did it,
card, and then you look at that, you be like, because I'm notorious for not paying attention or reading the details on the receipt, and I just pay, and I'll be like, man, that is, please don't do that. Especially when you go to these conventions, the price is always jacked up. Like
it is.
it
I mean,
makes no
we're just talking. We're just being silly. Because this is not important. Most people are not spending that much money at, at dinner. But what we are saying is that if you're out with a man who wants you to pay or other people to pay for him, that's a problem.
it really is. It
I
really
don't.
is. And I want
I ordered the gratuity.
right, right.
Said who ordered the gratuity for real.
Because here's
And
the
I
wild
saw,
part.
and I
Now
was.
they do gratuity and they do the tip. So if you're not paying attention, you tipping them twice. You know what I mean?
Yes, you are.
And
You
I
are.
was like,
I saw. We
it
went
took.
out to dinner the other day. We went out the other day, and the ticket came back, and it said, you know how they have the gratuity in like three different levels. The
Right.
first level was 30%. And I was like, what happened to 15 and 18? What is 30%? And I was like, if I was a guy, I would be super cheap. I would not be going out. I don't see how you guys date multiple women.
That's why I be trying to tell women. They be like, well, I'm like, you know how much it costs to be a player? It's not cheap. Unless you're a broke player and you just playing the. Remember what I used to do, Crystal?
I
When
do.
tick would be like, so we should go out to eat. What was my line?
I just ate. I remember I was talking to this guy because Mo would do that all the time. And I was talking to this guy and I was like, well, you want to go something? He was like, you know what? I just ate. And I was like, I wanted to be like, you, I know better than that. My brother taught me better than that. You just trying to get out of paying for go get something to eat. He'd be like, yeah, you know what? I just ate. I ain't even hungry. All right.
But no, I think that the good guy thing, it's all the perception. It's easy to fake the good guy. It really, really is. And the biggest thing on anybody's side, on both sides of the coin, is time. It really is time. But I think what you were saying, I'm trying to think, do men do that? Like, we got this space that we want this woman to, or a woman to be in, right? And we got somebody that we find is attractive and not half those things. We try to make them all those things and rush the process, right? And I'm trying to think, do guys do that?
Guys do it. I hate to say this, Mo, and this is sad for me and for women, but it just seems like men will do anything for a woman they think is extremely pretty.
Yeah,
There
well,
seems there seems to be no limit on pretty. Like if they feel like the woman is like their whole energy, she can talk crazy. They really do. Looks really are king when it comes to women, and money and security really are king when it comes to men. So
so
I
let me
mean
ask,
that's
if you get a lot of pretty, or if you could get a lot of pretty, then it's not solely about pretty no more, right?
I don't think so because I know a lot of guys that get a lot of pretty. There's always prettier, or a different type of pretty.
Right. It might not be solely based. Now we're digging into character, right? No.
I don't think this is just my opinion. I could be wrong. That's why you're here. I don't think it ever gets to character. I feel like, and I agree with Kendra. If you're a beautiful woman, you can have what you want. Now, for the rest of us, we have to make the best we have with what we got, right? But if you are the type of woman that men think is just untouchable, and I have a few friends like that, they will do whatever, they will say whatever, they will get whatever, they will spend whatever. There is no, I have seen some crazy stuff because of looks only, not even, not character, looks. So, I mean, that's just reality. You know, you just
I,
have to
I,
deal in reality.
I think if you get, I think it starts out that way, but if you get enough of it, and then you have your choice, it's got to be something else has to stand out because you can get pretty, you can get pretty crazy, you can get pretty. So you start to be like, okay, if I want to settle down, or I want, because men are judged. A lot of men judge each other by their women, not just their looks, because she can be pretty but be, as I say, a loose woman, and everybody knows it, and you're the laughing stock. Yeah, she's pretty, but everybody hit it. So does it matter then?
But
You see
how
what I'm
does
saying?
Erica Mena, how, how does Erica Mena, how is Erica Mena still dating?
Because every
How?
because every guy thinks in the beginning, a lot of times, pretty is sweet. We think it's innocent. We think she's only like that with that guy. It would not be me. And then it winds up when they go through whatever they go through, it winds up being just like you. And that's the thing. It's like everybody's trying to beat the last guy. You know,
But
if
I'm
you're
saying
playing
the
the video,
guys, these guys have seen this woman fight on television. Like, you know who will always
these
have
are
a
the stuff,
man,
right?
even though she's problematic. Evelyn Lozada
I'm,
always.
I'm, I'm, as much as these women are a problem when they do the other thing, they're just as sweet. And the dudes feel like, oh, that's not going to be me though. And they're trying to, it's like playing the video game and the last person that played it got this score. And you'll be like, you know what? I could beat that score. I could beat the high score. And that's a fool's game. And I just think these guys, usually it's the dude unexperienced. He got new money and he think he can make a difference. He's going to change. He's going to be the one to change the game for everybody. And you wind up falling in line like everybody. Pretty gets you in, and it could be the trap. I think the guys that stays are the guys that are weak. Don't let that money just now we reversing it. Don't let that money fool you and think that he's a better man because of it. I want to talk to y'all real quick. I know Crystal's hopefully she'll pop back in. But ladies, trust me, please do not let that money think that he's a better man because of more of the wages or whatever the situation might be. Hopefully Crystal pop back in. I've seen it happen a million times that some women go for the best presentation. And sometimes the best presentation, there we go.
Man, it just was like out, Crystal out.
Can you hear?
Yeah,
All right, cool. We can hear you too. Okay, cool. I
yeah,
was just saying, don't fall for the best presentation all the time. The best presentation, a lot of times, is not what you think it is. It's all it
right.
is a presentation. You know, have you ever seen a movie that had a good trailer, but then when you
Hmm.
actually watch the movie,
All
it's
day.
matter of fact, there's some movies that what's in the trailer, there might be a quick flash or something, and it's never in the movie.
Right, right. No, absolutely. Let me ask you something because you said something I want to go back to. You said for the women that are like that, the over the top and have bad attitudes, or at least we see that side. You said, but they're just as extreme they are on that side when they're sweet. What do you mean by that? Like you're talking about sex, or you talking about
No, it's
what?
not even the sex thing. It's the talking to you in the beginning. They mastered the art of it's the art of seduction. Talking sweet. Remember, I was telling you, like, I know the art of seduction. Like, I know if I wanted to play them games and talk real monotone, look her directly in her eye, hold it, never break eye contact. You know what I mean? Certain things to like it's seductive. You know, well, the same thing. Women played even better. You know,
Yeah,
they got
yeah.
presentation and they're looking you at being real catering, like you said, the massaging and talking to you, checking on you. I just wanted to make sure you ate today, baby. You know what I'm saying? And you be
It's
like,
feeding
I
the
don't see.
ego.
And then
It's
and then you be like, oh, that other dude he must have been doing something wrong because I don't get it. I don't see that until it
yeah,
go wrong, or she's upset, or she didn't get her way, and then,
yeah,
or you might have messed up. I ain't gonna put it all on her. You might have messed up, and that's the ultimate thing to see whoever's who. When we get into it, how we resolve it and how we deal with conflict. That's everybody. We're gonna see
yeah.
really who's who.
Let me ask you this because I want to bring up this statement that last name first said. Only usually see black men giving a million chances to non-black women for non-ambiguous women or non-ambiguous women. It's one strike, you're out, no patience, no tolerance. And I saw a clip today with Columbus Short talking, and he said that, they're black women are the only women that don't respect men, that don't respect their men, and other cultures prioritize and cater to men, and black women are not taught that. Of course, I know we're tired of that argument. As black women, we're tired of that argument, right? And I would just say, this channel is for positivity, but I do want to say that it would be a lot easier for black women probably to understand how to cater to and to respect and to cherish um, black men if we saw more of them in the house when we were growing up and teaching and loving our mothers and loving us. So I'm just say that for me, I can only speak for Christal. I didn't see that, right? So I have to say that as a culture, you cannot just point the finger at one side and not also take responsibility on the other side. So I don't I don't really give much weight to that, but I do hear that from a lot of men. So I want to ask your opinion on that.
I'll just say this. You just said something. I hear it from a lot of men. There's a lot of stuff that we hear from men, but it gets dismissed. And if we're all saying it, if a lot are saying it, then whether you believe it's true or not, can we at least look into it?
Well, that's what we're doing. That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
I'm
that's the first thing. The first thing is acknowledging that there might be something here. You know what I mean? Opposed to it ain't like that. I just that and the third. All we're saying is I don't know. Every brother got their different issues with it might be, but some things we feel like it's almost universal. Like every guy talks about the accountability thing, so on and so forth, right? But us talking about it, just talking about it, and like I said, this is just coming to the forefront now. This ain't nothing new. Men been feeling this way. We just never had a platform to discuss it. And now that we do, we're being shut up, shut up. Oh, I'm tired of it. And it's like, listen, by the end of next year, I think I told you this conversation will probably be done. And I'll say next year because let these brothers vent and get all this off their chest. But the more you keep interrupting them and saying it's not like that, the more they feel the need to prove and say it is. So let them, and they'll shut up, and we'll move forward. That's just my opinion on that. But I don't necessarily agree with everything what Columbus said. I think a lot of dudes trying to find an scapegoat or a reason not to man up, and they think the load will be lighter over there. That's what I really think.
right.
The load will be
I agree.
lighter over there, and a lot of times they
Right.
find out it's not. You're talking to
Most
a woman
times.
who's in their culture as a child, they're told to do certain things, but that don't because this woman's mother had to work and there wasn't a man in the house to show that there was an example. Look, you bring your daddy to play, and this is how I cater. It's hard to show the daughter something, the mother to show something when ain't no man in the damn house.
Thank you. That's all I'm
You
saying.
know,
And I
you know,
also
but at the same time, we talk about a man not being in the house, but what we never talk about is a woman running a man out the house. Let's get to
well,
that.
that's true.
No,
That's true. But I and I
I'm
and
just saying, I just want to be balanced here. Let's
no,
get
you're
to
right.
that. Every
You're
man
right.
that left, it wasn't his fault. Not every
That's true.
man, some men. And it
Right.
might
Some
even
men.
be a lot of men, but it's not
Right.
all men.
That's
We
true.
all
That's
know that
very true.
girl that's doing what she's doing, and we don't. So I just try to be fair and balanced as possible. But
No, you're right.
don't expect that woman to know how to treat. Well, her mother, what is she supposed to be? Her mother wasn't there, grandfather. It's 3 or 4 generations. Ain't no man in the crib.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then when you do get one, let's just say they're living in an urban environment, lower income, Section 8. Ain't supposed to be a dude there, but she letting the dude come in there, and he ain't worth for nothing. He drinking up all the juice, the kids' snacks, and all this, and he ain't got nobody. And all she see is a man living up under her mother. And what's the first thing she do when she thinks that that's nature. That's normally how it go, and that's not
Or
normally
she's
how it
thinking,
go.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not taking care of
No,
no man when I
and
get.
that's the other side. Or
Yeah.
she's gonna be like, I'm gonna be completely different and not be.
Yeah.
If she's seeing her mother happy with that, she might tend to think that that's cool. I know somebody and you know somebody right now, and that's what they see. They didn't see it from their grandparents, but they damn sure saw it from their mother. And I know.
Yeah.
And
But
so when I'm saying that it's these generational cycles, but to think you're gonna run to the other side because now you meet a woman and dog, be there. Like be there. We running from the work. We really, 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 really running from the work. And I'm talking about just general stuff. Just general things. And I really feel sorry for this generation because it's apparently it's still hot girl season out here.
I don't think it's going to stop. I think it goes year round. But I do want to say another issue that is a part of this, that last name first mentioned again, is that a lot of black men don't even clock the disrespect from non-black women. They get blind, dumb, and deaf as she manipulates him into thinking it didn't happen. I think there's still a lot of issues within our culture that we don't like to talk about. And I think we're talking about when a man gets the woman that he thinks he always wanted. A lot of times, and I know this sounds really messed up to say, but a lot of times black men will feel like the closer they get to someone that is biracial or has the aesthetic of biracial look or looks what they call what Wendy Williams referred to as swirly, they 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 value that more, and they will take all kinds of stuff from a person that looks like Evelyn Lozada over a person that looks like Taraji. Both of them are beautiful women, but there's some men that feel like that is the type of beauty that I value and I will do anything for. Same thing with Erica Mena. Like, and that's why I think it was so hurtful when she called Spice a monkey, because we know that she's aware of that type of energy. Like, there are so many men that will take her being disrespectful to them, their mama, just to be with someone that looks like that. And we have to be honest about that. We have to be honest about that. You know, as we're talking about in the dating world, I've heard all kinds of things, and you have to realize for black women, that's a part of what we grew up understanding. When we saw TV, Halle Berry was considered the most beautiful. Halle Berry is biracial. It was a very clear message.
You get that. I think it's a 1-2 punch. I think it's that, and what you don't see in those women, unless there's conflict a lot of times, and this is what I hear from the guys, is the biggest thing is attitude. Attitude. When you see these judge shows, a lot of times I saw this show where it was talking about they were picking the black female judge that wasn't going to take that and talk to them a certain way, and attitude. So when you don't see that in the attitude, and you don't grow up in these other households, which they might have something totally different, you don't know, that might turn you off. So you say, well, I don't see that attitude over there. It's got to be better. Or the white guy don't come into the job and talk about his old lady. So you're thinking that must be better.
I don't know, Mo, because Evelyn Lozada ran across the table to fight a woman just
No,
the
no, no,
same
no, no.
as.
I get that. I'm saying like, because there was the issue. I'm saying, well, a lot of times it ain't even got to be an issue. You can just see, just walking around Walmart, and it's just the face all just, a lot of dudes don't want to deal with that. They really don't want to deal with that. And the talking
But
to the
that doesn't
young guy.
have anything to do with skin color, though. That
No,
doesn't have
no. I
anything to
said, I
do
said
with.
1-2 punch. It's the look, and then less attitude. You know what I'm saying? But then the other part is, if they get the other woman, it's they'll put up with the attitude if there's the look.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying is, but that's on that side. But on the black side, they don't want to. That's what I hear. And he'd be like, the attitude. I don't want to deal with the attitude.
Well, I think you cannot deal with an attitude, but there are plenty of black women that are brown skinned with, 4C hair that don't have attitudes. It's
No, we're
not that
talking
all
about
the
the
time.
the ones that consider themselves the bad bees, and the girls with they're doing all the extra stuff on social media and things of that nature. I think dudes are really, really caught up with the unknown and the stories. And let me ask you, and let me say this: a lot of times it ain't even about them; it's how it looks to other people.
Right, because we grew up. I'm saying most of our generation. Now, this generation, I don't know what they consider attractive. I don't know. But I do know for our generation, I have friends that I grew up with that would give anything. Like they can't even have a conversation with a woman that is, if she's biracial, they just automatically assume she's so much better and they will do anything. And that's like, I don't like to harp on that because I think what you talk about and what you give it energy becomes your reality. But
That's
I
a
also
fact.
do, when we're talking, we have to be honest about what it is. And that happens a lot. My husband and I talk a lot about just that because with him, his daughters look biracial and there's this, the automatic response. My daughter is very, very fair skinned, and I could tell how, she. I remember when she was little one time, somebody sent her. This was a really bad situation, but a girl sent her um, a note, and she was like, you're light skinned and you got this and that, and Chanel didn't, because she grew up in the house of the brown skinned mom. She was just like, why is she saying I think I'm better? And I was like, because she feels like that, and she's looking like she thinks that you think that. But then I've also heard it back the other way. So I don't know. This is kind of like a catch-22 because you can't tell people what their preferences should be. But I do think it is dangerous when we were talking about good guys and good girls and bad girls. When you assume that this girl is a better woman because she's fair skinned or because she's biracial, because she's not black, you assume that that's a better catch. That's a problem.
So why? So a lot of times because they're thinking something else is better. But why are they
Yes.
thinking what they got is better? Because maybe they feel like, okay, this is wrong. What could be better? If you felt like what you got was good, you wouldn't look elsewhere. So
But look
that's
at
the
look at
problem.
Kanye. Look at somebody like Kanye West. Kanye is a perfect example of someone who is very clear about the fact that he thinks non-black women are superior.
But you remember
Superior.
when he first came out and he had that girl
Which girl?
that was on that reality show, didn't look nothing like the women he has now.
Amber Rose?
Totally opposite. You can look her up. I forget her name. Pretty girl out of New York, brown skin.
Mm-mm.
No,
But see, that's what I'm
that's
saying.
how.
But he has a song that says, "And when he get on, he'll leave your ass for a white girl." So that's what he was talking about, and that's what he has done. That's what
Right.
he's done. But
But but we
it's
gotta
an
stop the separation. Good hair,
yeah,
like that's just that's a
yeah.
big problem.
Yeah, it
Oh,
but I think it's just the fact is character trumps everything. Money, looks,
it it
uh,
it should it should
sure.
it should, but it but does it with money? I've seen women put up with stuff because of money, especially cheating.
Oh yeah, but yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, there's a price for that on the other side. You know what I mean? So when a
Absolutely.
man when a man knows that you're okay with him cheating and disrespecting you because he has money, I don't understand how he can respect you. Very difficult for him to actually respect you.
Yeah, yeah, I believe that. I believe that. But also, you can hide behind. We're talking about the good guy. We can hide behind money and lifestyle
Yeah,
and still be.
yeah,
I know. I knew somebody. I don't think like he's that no more. Maybe he still is, but you could be a bum with money.
yeah.
And what I mean by that is you have a bum mentality.
Well, like Kendrick said, there's a lot of goofies with a check. And
Yeah,
thank him.
like
I'm glad he said that.
but I seen dudes with it, and it's a particular rapper, and he went through some things, and when he came out the other end, I don't see none of the old him no more. And he was a bum. He was a millionaire before what he went through when he came out, a multi-millionaire,
Mm,
but doesn't carry yourself in the same manner. Like the hardest thing to change, you could change the aesthetics and do all this, but if your mindset ain't changed, you're gonna
yeah,
resort back. This the mindset. That's super important. You've been doing something for 20, 30, 40 years.
yeah,
Change that. It takes time and it's step by step and we can't rush it. But I think it's a lot easier to fool people because you could mask things with money.
yeah.
And then
Definitely.
when people find out, they're so used to the lifestyle and what you bring to the table, they don't want that to go away.
But if you notice, those relationships don't last either. How many? I mean, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, more money than most people will ever imagine in their life, and it's still not enough. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah, yeah. Listen, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, all that money ain't saved none of that, but
it
it's
won't.
sure enough helped her.
And
Man,
his wife is doing some amazing things with her money. We like her. She's giving back to all types of things. She's doing good stuff with the money. Good shouts out to Jeff Bezos' ex-wife.
it's all tax breaks. It's all,
Thanks. Whatever. It's helping some good people. Well, guys, I have arrived in New Orleans. I think I am outside my Airbnb. So I appreciate you guys hanging out in the midst of my spaceship travels. um, we will be here on Friday. I will be in my Airbnb on Friday. So we're going to have a good time on Friday for our recap of the Houston, the Family Empire. I'm actually glad that we're talking about that show. I just feel like we need to take a bath from the Never Ever Mets. Do you?
yeah,
I feel like it was dirty.
yeah.
Take a bath from
Yeah.
that. Just give our brains a little bit of a rest, and get
Crystal,
into some other things.
exactly, exactly. Don't forget, guys, July in women. I'm sorry, I'm saying guys in general. July 13th, Saturday. Not this Saturday, next Saturday. We are doing the Love
Love
Connection
Connection
XO.
XO.
Love Connection XO. We're gonna talk about it more tomorrow and really grind. And you're gonna hear a lot more about it in the week to follow going into it. Crystal will be in their Airbnb. I will be in my pajamas. Got another pair.
Pajama Mo. Pajama Mo will be
Pajamas.
back. Yes, I will be in the Airbnb. I'm gonna try to get me some Seagram's escapes, but yeah, it should be not smells like the Boom Boom Room. No, I don't want. I don't like it. That show was just not. I did not. I don't want them to bring it back, but they are. So we'll see. But for right now, let's get into this Black Excellent. Oscar, is there Oscar Lean? I like Oscar
It
Lean.
is Oscar Lean. Oscar
That's who
Lean,
I'm rolling
Nikki,
with.
Jamisha, Jaquetta. Well, I wrote all the names down. Monet, Nicole. Jaquetta got a husband or a guy named Chris. Nicole has Larry. And I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
Larry. Well, I like Oscar Lean. She has got, I mean, her and her husband were balling out here, just Black excellence on 10. I love it. I see I'll definitely be sharing with you guys some of my exploits here at Essence Festival. I'm going to try to check out some different things and share back on the channel. So make sure that you're subscribed. Um, to that, so that you guys can check out some of what I'm up to during this week. I know that we have a great brunch that I'm doing on Saturday that I'm working with Flow J and Miss Janetta Patton, Usher's mom, and um, Tabitha Brown is going to be there. Just is going to be good. So I'll definitely be sharing some highlights from that. And we'll be preparing for Love Connection XO. So if you go ahead and get your outfit out, get your sundress ready, to come and hang out with us on July 13th in Atlanta.
And there it is.
All right. Well, we love you guys. Have a safe week. Enjoy the 4th of July. Share some love to the Scotts and the Jabars on their page. If you guys are, friends with them or you follow them, share some love. Don't
Yeah.
ask questions. Just share some positivity, that way. We love you guys for watching, and we'll see you back here Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern for our recap of Family Empire.
And there it
Bye,
is.
guys.
Peace.